Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Diz Idiots, the podcast about anything and everything in the world of, well, basically anything in Orlando and a stupid porg. Because apparently we have a Jedi joining us here. The Jedis have come out for our Horror Nights recap special event thingamabobby. So, hey, we got that going on. I'm Dozer. We got Bruce.
What's up? How's everyone doing?
We got Brian.
What
We're
up?
BBD. We are the Diz Idiots.
That's funny. That looks kind of like the dinner I had tonight.
It looks a little too small for your dinner.
Okay, so I had two of them. What's the big deal?
I have a Groot like that. I have a little baby Groot that'll sit on my shoulder.
Well, so when I was down in Disney, I was actually at the Magic Kingdom, and this was on one of those end caps in the Emporium, and I'm like, I just have to have this. I don't care how much it is. So I got this, and it's like souvenir time.
Yeah, you should see the bag I got.
Actually, I saw him first.
I saw him at World of Disney, and I was tempted.
I saw him at Magic Kingdom on my way out, and I was like, you know what? I need to get something orange. I don't have anything orange bird. Like, I was going to get now my dog's like no, these are not dog toys. No. I was going to get like one of those souvenir drink holders that was the orange bird, but I'm like, you know what? It's too like big, and there's no place to put the orange bird cup. So I decided to just get like one of those, they're not Numios. They're the, some sort of buddy thing, something buddy, I forget, or mini buddies or something. So yeah, they're these little magnets at the bottom that you just put in your shoulder, and you just walk around the park. And I saw someone with a Remy, with the little chef hat.
Yeah, I saw all. I was like, these are adorable. I'm like, no, I don't need this.
Well, wait.
Yes, you do.
Wait, Bruce, were you able to go on the Ratatouille ride?
No, I went to Disney Springs for a little bit, and that was it. I didn't even try.
Okay.
I had them at Disney Springs. They had them at a display.
And I didn't see them at Disney Springs because the person who I was talking to said it was like last year's Food and Wine Festival exclusive because it was a Remy with the chef hat.
Yeah, the Remy with the chef hat. It was at World of Disney.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
Last year's exclusive is this year's clearance item.
Yeah, swear. Hand to God, because I got my mother. I was looking through the 50th stuff. I actually bought my mother some nice pajamas. But I saw. I was like, because they were right on top of each. I was like, oh, those are adorable. Walk away. I hadn't been to the tribute store yet. No, Bruce.
Yeah.
Got to save your money for the tribute store.
Well,
yeah, that's what my little Groot is. But that was like 3 years ago at this point. I got my little Groot shoulder sitter thingamabobby.
I didn't realize it was a shoulder sitter. If I knew that, I would have bought them.
So for the two, can you guess how much I spent?
For the two shoulder sitters?
Mm-hmm.
$50.
20.
Bingo.
They were $10 each. I saw the sign.
No. Wait, they were $10 each?
I thought so. I thought that's what the sign said.
No, they were $24.99 a pop.
What? I thought they were $10 each. I saw. I was looking at something else apparently.
You must have seen the ones without the magnets.
Could be. Yeah. It could have been, and I just didn't.
That's a $15 magnet, don't you know?
And I know the Numios are actually like kind of cheaper too, because they just like bend and they can sit on your shoulder, but they're not magnetic.
What is a Numio?
It's this thing from Japan.
Okay.
It's wherever Duffy came from.
It's Duffy 2.0.
Okay, because I saw this clothing that said Numio on it. I'm like, what is this? Somebody explain to me.
Numios is this new thing where they're creating different Disney characters, and they're basically just like what I had with the magnet, except that their arms and legs bend in different positions, and you can like put them like, I don't know, and they're very Instagrammable. It's something new. They're now becoming a hot commodity because they've gone from the Fab Five to like Jack Skellington and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas and Oogie Boogie and like Abu.
Ooh, I need an Abu. That just sounds like a good time, and it sounds like more shit I'm spending my money on in December.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Folks, it's a merch episode.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
It's a
love
whole-
merch?
We have a whole episode, people.
We
I'm
love giving our money to these companies. No one can help it. Merch, baby.
So I'm just gonna go right to the piece of resistance.
Please. You mean the rise of the resistance? Of course he did. Is anyone surprised? No.
So this is what I built. I made this.
Are we gonna Full Metal Jacket with it? This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Yeah, you know, I had to do it. You know.
Now that's a good look. Now that's a picture right there. That looks cool, dude.
Yeah.
I just have to
So-
ask, wondering what the current inflation is. What's the price on that? Because I haven't looked it up.
It's $220.
A fucking Force FX was $199 back in when they first came out.
That just hurt.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so it's $199.
I'm not judging. This is not judging you. It just I was
No.
expecting 150, and when you said 2, I was like, oh, that's more than I thought.
No, yeah, it's $220 worth every set. It's actually like metal. It's not. I mean,
It doesn't look it. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean,
Is that real? Is that real staghorn though?
It's a rancor tooth. Liz actually thought it was a toenail. She thought it was a toenail off of something. So I'm like, if anything, maybe a velociraptor. I don't know. But no, so this is
Wrong park.
Yeah, right. So this is plastic, but it's a very, very heavy, thick plastic. And it actually has like the holes inside for like to hear the sound effects because the speaker comes out. But no, it's very sturdy. I wasn't really, I mean, the blade is somewhat small. So this is just the hilt. And then I don't know if I could zoom or like, like it's, I'd say it's about maybe total 3 feet tall.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's about the size of a Force FX.
Yeah.
Because the blades is Force FX.
Yeah.
It is. Now, the difference between Force FX and this hilt is that this hilt is much bigger than if you look at a Force FX like hilt. It's probably a Force FX. It's about this size, and then the rest is the blade. So it makes the blade look smaller. And I know they actually sell like taller blades, and I might go back and get one. But overall, I'm happy with it.
That's
awesome.
all that matters. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
And here's the thing. So you guys were saying $199 for an FX lightsaber. So yes, $199 for the FX lightsaber, $20 for a pin. You get a free pin with it because they distinguish. There's 4 different types of styles you can do. It's peace and justice. You know, like building Obi-Wan Kenobi's or Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, something comparable. Something justice and peace, which is more like Knights of the Old Republic. Elemental in nature, which is what I did, and then power and control, which is like a Sith. And then you have 4 color options. You have red, blue, green, or purple crystals.
Give me the yellow.
Well, that's just in the experience. They haven't done the yellow. They haven't updated the show since Rise of Skywalker. This still takes place in between episodes 8 and 9. So it's the 4 colors you get to choose from, and then you do go to Savvy's workshop, and then that's where you can buy like yellow crystals, white crystals. That's where you get to buy everyone else's lightsabers, like Rey's, Luke's, Leia's, like all those lightsabers.
Oh, I didn't know they actually introduced the yellow lightsaber into the proper canon because I haven't seen Rise of the Skywalker yet.
Oh, spoilers.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
The movie's what, 3 years old? You can't.
Yeah,
I don't.
So
after it's 2 weeks after it's on DVD, I don't care. You can spoil it.
We'll pause for a second. If folks are watching, spoilers abound. If you don't want to hear spoilers, you should watch the movie already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rey takes on the name Skywalker at the end of Rise of Skywalker. She ignites her lightsaber, and it's yellow.
Wow! Sorry.
Yeah, and people are looking back, and they've noticed that her hilt eerily resembles Bastilla's from Knights of the Old Republic video game.
Kotar, which is getting a remake.
I know. I am super excited. So I did buy all. And so not only did I do this, so this was 220. I also bought 4 crystals. That. So the other thing too, and I also bought a belt buckle to hook it up to, of course, because the thing actually comes like this part connects to like a snap that you hook to your belt. But then I also
because that's convenient to carry.
Right, so yeah, I got the yellow crystal,
Taller than my leg.
Blue, red, green. Okay, so I also got this thing too.
If you mess with that too much and Pinhead comes out, I'm out of here.
So it's a Jedi Holocron. You can also buy the Sith ones, and you put the crystals inside the holocrons, and they actually have like Jedi's give you words of wisdom. It's just quotes from the movies. Vice versa with the dark side too, but I haven't bought that. So that holocron,
I am a terrible Star Wars fan.
The Jedi holocron was about $40, something around there. I'm pretty sure it's not working properly. I bought a brand new one where I had to pull the tag out to start the battery thing, and I've been putting the crystals in the holocron, and all I just hear is the sound effect of the holocron, and it's supposed to communicate with the crystal to voice a Jedi. And I've only done it a couple of times with the crystals, and I've only gotten like Obi-Wan once and Mace Windu once, but none of the other crystals work. So I've been
email Disney.
Call
Disney. But I've also YouTubed people like diehard Disney fans that know this kind of stuff, and they actually said that these holocrons there's a metal ring inside, a pinhead as you were, that you have to retape.
Pinhead has many pins, and he is he does not come out of that. He is a Cenobite.
But no, there is a sensor ring that I guess I just have to retape. It's in the center that connects with the RFID chip with the crystals.
So just on a Disney is great note, I remember a couple of years ago we bought some stuff for our wedding, and actually it wasn't our wedding stuff, it was stuff we bought for Bella. We bought Bella this Tinkerbell sitting on a block. Right. And the cast member did a shitty job packing it. And it's Tinkerbell, so it has fragile wings, and one broke off before we even got home.
Oh, man.
So I just emailed customer service like, hey, they pack this. They put no tissue paper in the box.
Right.
And we even brought it to, we did the ship to home options. And yeah, I had a new one shipped to my house.
They're very good here's the thing, and this is a disclaimer. They're very good if they can. You want to check your merchandise early. Remember, things go out of stock, and sometimes when they're gone, they're gone. They are great, but if you've noticed something's wrong, do not delay.
Absolutely.
I did it another time. One of those free watches you get for buying $75 worth of crap.
They don't even do the free watches anymore.
Well, this was a couple years ago, but it was, I bought $75 worth of crap. I got a watch for $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I got home, I pulled the little tag, I pushed it in, and the watch didn't tick. So I emailed them, and I got a new watch.
I did that.
2 months later, the watch died. The watch is crap.
Right.
I did that with a watch I bought. Unfortunately, it was an older watch. They were going. Unfortunately, they said they sent me a replacement. It didn't fit my wrist. But it was. They sent me They said, "Listen, we don't make that watch anymore, but I'll send you." They were very nice about it, but that unfortunately, again, it was just too. It was a while too, so it was a really good customer service interaction. But they were like, "We don't make that anymore. Sorry."
But
Dozer, who did you email to Disney about the whole watch, and they sent you a new one?
I don't remember, but it was something I found on the website. It was customer service or guest services or whatever.
Go to
I went with the email because or live chat if that was an option. I did not want to spend 2 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
I could spend 2 hours waiting for a chat message while I'm working,
Right.
but 2 hours on the phone just pisses me off.
If you go to, and I believe if you shop Disney Parks is the one you want to contact because they are the ones who handle them. They're at least, they'll get you the merchandise. So shop
Sure.
Disney Parks usually has some sort of merchandise email. I've actually I've done the same thing with Universal and had very good results. In fact, I
But
did that
dear
tonight.
God, make sure you have every piece of information you can. If you have the SKU, use it. If you can find it
SKU
on the website, send
yeah.
the link.
Well,
The
and
SKU is helpful beyond belief.
Well, here's the thing. I've kept all of my receipts from this trip, so I can keep track of how much I spent.
I never keep a receipt, but I always keep the folio.
Well, the wife actually requested I brought them back home with me, so she knew how much I spent.
Mm-hmm. I did not do that because I said, you know what? I'm just here to have a good time.
Well,
and I did.
And you know what? So did I, but it was
no
weird,
offense,
too.
you don't have a house manager.
I am the house manager.
No,
I'm everything. I'm a union of one, baby. None taken, by the way.
But no, I mean, yeah, I had a blast too. It was weird though, like, so a little bit about my little road trip to Florida. So I stopped in Fayetteville overnight it was Sunday I left around like 2, got down to Fayetteville, North Carolina around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit, it was maybe closer to 9. But I got up at 3:30, hit the road. It's a 7.5 hour drive from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Orlando. I left at like 4, got down there at 10. There was no one on 95. Nobody.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, once you get past certain points, there's no traffic.
And then
I think once you get past Atlanta, you're clear.
Well, here's what's even crazier. So, we've all seen The Walking Dead and how like there's like no one on the road and all this stuff. So I pull into Walt Disney World. Actually, no, this reminds me more of like Vacation with the Griswolds. I pull into my Hilton Hotel. It's right next to Disney Springs, Saratoga Springs, right? I look at the parking lot at Saratoga. There is not one car at all.
The Disney Consolation Prize.
And I'm like, where the hell is everybody? Even at my hotel, there was, including my car, maybe 15 others. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go to the park, even though I was comped for the next 2 days. I decided just to say, screw it. I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'll go to Magic Kingdom, kick this off. So I took the monorail, got to Magic Kingdom. I couldn't get over how empty the park was. I mean, we're talking like 10 minutes for Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain. Splash Mountain was probably about a 45-50 minute wait because it was hot. Jungle Cruise, of course, was like a 70-minute wait because it's like the hottest attraction there. Peter Pan was 25 minutes. I'm like, that
Disney, says all it needs to say.
Right? Like,
reminder: Peter Pan has no capacity, ladies and gentlemen. That's a feat.
Yeah,
I did hear the numbers were down except for Thursday.
And see,
No. Thursday the 23rd.
Oh, okay, yes. So
I made the decision to not go because I figured everyone was there for a 240-minute wait.
I heard it got up to almost 250.
It did.
Doesn't matter at that point.
Well, because everyone in the park was there to do what? It's everyone in the area who has never been on it, so everyone came to do one thing.
And for those who are tuning in, we're talking about Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance has paused their boarding groups. Again, not canceled. It is paused. Oddly enough, they paused it right before, and things are going to go nuts this weekend.
For those who don't know, I am a Love the Mouse travel agent. I sell Disney, Universal.
Plug the shit out of it if you want.
So,
I don't care.
Yeah. There is not an official date, but there are heavy rumors that the new Fast Pass system will be launching on October 1st.
Shocking.
God help us all. God help us all.
Because we haven't learned from the grand opening of Disneyland that the best time to release new things is an incredibly busy day.
Yeah, like the new restaurant.
It's 1971. It's 1955 all over again.
Like Space 220.
We at least did a soft opening for 71.
Can we? Okay, that's the other thing too. So I wasn't able to experience 220. That opened.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, yeah, I know. And actually, we almost snuck into Ratatouille. Almost, like Ratatouille. Long story short, my roommate is an annual pass holder. He never got the invite to attend the annual pass holder preview for Ratatouille. So we took the I never rode the Skyliner, so we decided to do that for a little bit. The Epcot day, my last day there, we didn't do anything. We just did, like, as a group, Soarin'. I rode Spaceship Earth as soon as we got in, and we did the Skyliner, and then we just drank. I finally got to do the tequila bar in Mexico. Never got a chance to do that before.
That's a good damn time.
That's a great time right there.
And here's the thing. Every time I go to Epcot during the Food and Wine Festival, that place is packed.
Yeah.
Because you're going to a Food and Wine Festival.
Well, and we were there on a Thursday after 5:30. You would think all the locals would be coming after work for happy hour. The place was dead. It was dead.
The parks have been heavily unattended.
I'd say we may have waited for a group table for like maybe 15-minute wait to get in.
And folks, if you've never been, that tequila bar is not big. It is a very, very small venue.
Yeah.
It honestly
about the
looks
size of this room.
Yeah, it looks like something out of Batu or Hogsmeade.
Honestly, it's just a Mexican cantina. It's just a small tequila like table, and it's mostly like standing room only.
It's also more the fact that there ain't no room to build.
Right. But we also got to witness the SpaceX launch at Epcot, which I thought was amazing.
Nice.
What a bit like
that's
anything,
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Right around Mission Space. We got to see it right around Mission Space. So I was like, anything cooler would have been Magic Kingdom to see it, because that was neat. But where was I going with this?
Kennedy would have been the place to see it.
True. But Ratatouille. So we were over at the Skyliner, and we saw from the Skyliner point of view, like, where the Ratatouille attraction is and where the annual pass holders like scan their tickets are and everything like that. So we're like, okay, if we go over, swim the water, jump over the fence, crawl over to the bushes, climb over on top of the other fences, we'll get right into the ride without them noticing us. And I told him, and I was like, if anyone asks, we'll just be like living in the moment. We're at Remy. We're Remy and Ratatouille trying to sneak into the kitchen. We didn't, though.
You're going to get banned like Adam the Woo.
What happened to Adam the Woo?
He got banned for sneaking into shit. I think he got banned for, I forget which thing he snuck into, but he's probably River Country.
Disclaimer: Disney really does not like trespassing, and they don't take much. They don't take much to say, okay.
Speaking of trespassing, I applaud to whoever that was that got to the top of Cinderella Castle. I applaud them for that. That was look. That was amazing.
See? No, I disagree wholeheartedly. You know what you're doing? You're the asshole who ruins it for everybody else.
This is true.
Now they're going to make restrictions. Now they're going to lock down. It's like the assholes that get off during attractions because they think it's cool. You ruin it for everybody. I don't care what his excuse is. You knew what you were doing was wrong. Shut up.
No, you are right, but it is kind of entertaining though to see someone actually.
It's beyond entertaining, but like. People are like trying to make a hero out of them. I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things.
This is true, and you know what? It comes all the way back to the two utensils. It comes back to that, or even the menus. Like when people went to Docking Bay 7 when it first opened up, they had this whole space theme to it, and then people were just stealing the menus and sporks, because they were something that was unique to that area. And now to get a spork, you have to pay $9.95, and it comes with a little like to-go bag. And I'm like, why?
Because we had something nice and a bunch of people ruined it.
I know. I know. But yeah, no, it was a really, I had a great time. I was working though pretty much all of Magic Kingdom. I didn't really, I, I talked to my mom and she was like, "You having a good time?" I'm like, "Yeah," but it is weird being by myself with no one that I know around, and I'm just pretty much taking every little photo possible and trying to live in the moment. Like so, like with Rise of the Resistance, I was trying to take as many photos up until the ride itself because I wanted to just, and even though I've spoiled myself by watching videos and knowing
Just
what's going to
enjoy it.
happen, I just wanted to enjoy it. So the last thing that I took a photo of, it's a video that I think I posted it on my Facebook page, is the scene where you get out of the, again, spoilers, pre-show.
Everybody knows this because everybody posts those pictures. This isn't a spoiler. You're fine.
Yeah, okay. So it's the scene where I'm in the docking bay of the Star Destroyer. And believe me when I tell you, pictures cannot describe the size of this building. It makes Pirates of the Caribbean feel like Peter Pan. That's how big this building is. Everywhere you turn, even when you turn behind you, there's stuff to look at everywhere you go. There is a full-size TIE fighter that's just sitting there, just like in its little position. I was just smiling the entire time. Like it was just so enjoyable to the point, like I actually stayed behind because I wanted this to happen and it actually happened. So I was taking photos and everything, and I know they were trying to get, the next party moving, but the one cast member who was an Imperial officer said, "Move it, detainee. Like, keep it moving, resistance scum." Like he was like trying to like, I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. They're so in character too. But even like, so then after that big scene, you walk into another hallway and you're still in the queue. You're not even in the ride yet. And it's just these corridors and hallways, and you turn into this to the right, and there's two more animatronic stormtroopers that are in this like little officer quarter, and that's where they separate you guys to the ride systems. And then before the ride even starts, there's this scene of movie with Kylo Ren and oh my God, I'm throwing a blank here. Commander Rex, I think. No, not Rex. The guy from Harry Potter. He's like the second in command of the Star Wars movies. I forget his name.
I have no idea, so keep talking.
But anyways, you're in this like holding cell, and the way how the shadows, like with it looks like they are actually there. Like they've taken the Harry Potter experience to the next level. Like I can see why. I didn't care for like with Avatar being on the same, like, okay, we have Avatar to compete against Harry Potter, but Star Wars, they really did take their time doing this. I do wish it was the original trilogy, but the immersiveness, the experience, even the marketplace, that you turn the corner and there's a full-size Millennium Falcon. I mean, every little nook and cranny, there's something that just like has a story to it, and it's weird because like it's just there. They're just props, but like it's just so immersive that you're living in the world. So when
is the Millennium Falcon just a prop though? Because somebody worked very hard to build that.
That's not a prop. That is a full-size replica right out of like Hollywood.
How amazing is that Millennium Falcon?
I was at an awe. Like I will say this: when I went to Magic Kingdom and saw the castle in all of its 50th glory, I did cry. Like I literally just like stopped on Main Street, like basically like had my head between my legs almost, just like trying to catch a breath because it was breathtaking to see the castle. It's been so long since I've been there. And then to see it for the 50th, it was really neat. But then seeing the Falcon, I was just standing there, just gazing. Like I was just at an awe. Like I had no words. Like I had absolute no words to describe that. And then the ride, I did it twice. The first time I was in Gunner, the far back. So I was trying to watch the screen, but I had to focus on like pressing my buttons. So the second time around, I went back. Oh, backstory, the reason why I did it twice, I was on Rise of the Resistance. We were about ready to board the second pre-show, the shuttle scene, and the ride breaks down. And I'm like, no, because we got the virtual queue at 7 a.m. Like we got the queue first thing in the morning. Our boarding group was like 80 something, but we noticed throughout the day it was like taking its time to get to our number. It was like going from ETA hours of like an hour and a half wait to like 3 hour wait to almost like a 4 or 5 hour wait. And I'm like, I bet the ride's having technical issues. And
They've
sure
been
enough,
having some real bad. It's actually gone 101 a lot, apparently.
Yeah.
I've read.
so I was fortunate enough to go back later that night. I skipped out on the Mickey's Boo Bash. I was like, look, guys, I can't miss this opportunity to ride rides. Like, this is why I'm down here. Like, I want to experience this stuff. So I went back by myself to Hollywood Studios. The first thing I did, I just went back to Star Wars to get Rise of the Resistance. Hopefully that it was operational, and it was. I got to experience it, and I got off the ride, and I was like, I cannot experience. Like, I called Liz, and I was like, this isn't even a ride. This is a 20-minute show experience that you're fully immersed in. Like, I wouldn't even call it an attraction. It's something different. Like, I can't. Like, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is a ride. This is an experience. Smuggler's Run is a ride. It's definitely like that is the ride of the area. Rise of the Resistance is just out of this world. I mean, it is, no pun intended, but it is truly on another galaxy. Like, it is just out there. So the second time I did the Smuggler's Run or whatever, I asked, I was like, can I be a pilot? Can I be the pilot? So, because me being a solo rider, I was able to like let everyone kind of go through, because they're trying to like add up by boarding groups. Like, if you have a party of 5, me being a single rider, I'd be on the back or whatever. I was like, I kind of want to be a pilot. So they let me go with a couple. So there was 3 of us, and I got to go into hyperspace, and that experience was awesome. Just pulling that lever down to go into light speed was insane. I was like, I looked at him, I was like, I always wanted to do this. But yeah, that was and I didn't crash. I actually flew the Falcon pretty decent, so minimal damage. I think the ending was a stowaway. I think we had a hidden stowaway, so that's when I bought the Porg. Took a picture of the Porg and all that. So yeah. How about you, Bruce? How was Halloween Horror Nights?
Fantastic. Halloween Horror Nights was an excellent time.
I saw some footage online. Those houses look incredible.
The houses. No, listen. Disclaimer. Part of you're going down this year. Everyone, was it staffed less than it has been? Yes. Was it as scary as it has been in past years? Not as scary. Were the potential for the scares there? They take that plastic away. Watch the F out, because they are itching. They're starting to reach under. They are itching to get beyond that plastic, which rumor has it, if things get better in Florida, they may take it away before the year is done. But that's, as people know, it's out online. Not every scare, but a lot of scares. Oh, some scares. There's some in each house have sheeting in front of them. It's not the sheeting that was there last year. I guess I want to say this is plexiglass and not vinyl, whichever one's more malleable. That's what there's this year. So they can push on it, and they can do more with it. But so when you see that, you know something's coming. The timing was a little off. It was a little hard. I had a couple of bad runs in some houses. Me and Bride Lives did not get along. I had 2 good. I think I finally, my last 2 runs were pretty good, but my first 2 runs were abysmal through it.
How many houses actually did all the houses have the plastic?
All of them.
All of them?
At parts. Not everywhere, but parts.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I saw the Bride of Frankenstein Lives house. I think it was Tim Tracker. One of them actually had footage of the house, and it didn't seem like a lot of the scenes actually had, like, the scare actors actually came out.
They did. It's there. It's certain. It's the up close scares were mostly where they had it. Depending on what they went. It did not bother me like I think it bothered some other people. Granted, if this is your first year going, I talked to some people who was their first time. Like, I don't really get it. I'm like, because if they were like, there's one scare in particular in Puppet Theater that got me each time. This guy's timing in that first hallway was impeccable. He got me through that mirror each and every time.
What was your favorite house overall?
Puppet Theater.
Puppet Theater.
If you want me to run my order,
sure.
I'll start with the bottom. This is going to this spoiler alert. My rankings may make people angry. These are not necessarily favorable, but this is how I feel. My dead last house, well, I could say it once, I could say it twice, I could say it 3 times.
Really?
Beetlejuice.
You didn't like it?
It's a fun house. It really is. It's themed to the move. The theming is great. It's excellent. When you walk in, Beetlejuice is barking at you, and you walk up, do a little walking into the house. But it's not scary at all. It's well done. It's well themed. Everything you're really looking for is there. But like some things didn't. They went avant-garde with some things. The whole house is up as normal, like you're walking through. You walk into the Deo scene, the table's above your head. Now you're upside down.
So it's almost like a fun house?
It is like a fun house. It is a fun house. It is because even though it wasn't working the last few times, the tunnel has returned. The tunnel has made its comeback. It's not 3D, but I love me spinning tunnel. I think if they had that there, the beginning's a little more disorienting. But it's all the lines from the movie. It's every kind of set piece you're looking for is there. Sandworm at the end. It's a fun house. It's just not scary at all. But it's a very fun house to walk through.
Let me ask you this hypothetically. So, like, you know how out in Universal Hollywood, they have the year-round Walking Dead attraction. Well, now it was year-round Walking Dead haunted house attraction, but now, well, they had it. They just brought it back for Halloween Horror Nights. They're doing this thing now where they only have it open for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, they should put that thing 6 feet under where it belongs and bury the Walking Dead once and for all. But that's beside the point.
Where I'm going with this is hypothetically, if for some reason Universal were to have a year-round haunted house attraction, let's say at Epic Universe, would Beetlejuice sort of be a good fit because he had his Graveyard Review show to kind of still keep that character alive in the theme park?
I think if you're going to do a year-round haunt, it's going to be Monsters.
Okay.
I think Beetlejuice wouldn't be a bad fit. This house is good. The problem with doing a year-round attraction like that is you should do something like a horror makeup show with it. You should have a kind of making of, and here's a couple of scenes. You know,
they need to update that show.
They need to, forgetting updating it though. I don't think a year-round haunt would work personally. It's fun. I don't think you'd get the numbers through it like you think you would. And listen, Conga Line hurts. Beetlejuice actually is where I got the most angry at a team member because they really were trying to rush me through it. I'm like, really? There's no one in front of me and no one behind me. Just come on. You want me to social distance, but you want me to be on the bumper for the person in front of me. Okay. That's how I feel about that. Next up, this is where I struggle.
I'm just going to say Beetlejuice presents the Universal Monsters.
I like it.
I could get behind that. I could
it.
certainly get behind that. It just, again, I don't think a year-round haunt's a good idea. I just don't see it being popular. I don't see it being popular enough to be there year-round. I think people would be upset if they had to wait in a long line for it. For your general guest.
Well,
that's
not,
why,
even, not even like a walking house. What about like a Omnimover style, like Cat in the Hat ride, but for a Beetlejuice attraction?
I mean, that's not a haunted house. It's just an attraction.
No.
I don't dislike
it. It could be a haunted house, but it's just
it's not a maze. It's not a horror night style thing.
Right.
I think Beetlejuice you could do a lot of fun things with Beetlejuice's property. But he was my dead last. That's where I'm putting him. I know that's going to be unpopular, but I felt bad after 2019. I only put Ghostbusters so high because of how much I enjoyed walking through it. But when they're not scared, I just hate to put it that way. Next up, I've struggled with these next two so much. I'm going Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy's next up. Tooth Fairy's number 9. I love the aesthetic of this house. That's why I struggle with this. It's basically the story of Tooth Fairy. Revenge of the Tooth Fairy is this child. The child loses a tooth. Ego puts on his pillow. When the Tooth Fairy shows up, he pops up and says, "No, you're not getting this." His nanny says, "But if you don't give them to the Tooth Fairies, they're not kind. If you don't give the tooth to the Tooth Fairy, they'll take us and torture us all, and they'll turn you into a hideous monster forever. I don't believe you. I don't believe in fairies. You can't have it." And well, the Tooth Fairy does just that and tortures the people, takes all your teeth out of your mouth at once, kills the family, and turns the boy into a monster. It's basically told through a children's pop-up book. This was a soundstage house, Beetlejuice was a parade building. It's basically told as a pop-up book. There's some good scares in here. I had a couple of bad runs through it, but I like it overall. But compared to some of the others I'll get to, it's just, it's good. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be.
I refuse to believe The Rock could be that scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, or Larry the Cable Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Deep cut.
Yeah, well, we'll get to deep cuts in a little bit. We're too away from a deep cut. The next up, again, controversial. I think a lot of people would rate this lower, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Universal lies on the website. For those of you who may receive this and may go to Halloween Horror Nights, Universal are a bunch of liars. Liar, liar, pants on fire. This is not based on the 1974 movie. This is set between the two movies. So if you were expecting to walk through the movie like 2016, it's not that. There's a lot there. Called it when one. I knew we'd start at the We Slaughter Barbecue gas station. That's exactly where you start. I like Texas Chainsaw, so I'm predisposed to just like the aesthetic of the house. I think it has some great scenes. It's got some good scares. It's got some inventive stuff in there. It is a bit ho-hum. It's Texas Chainsaw. If you did 2016, it's a little ho-hum on that. It's a little uncomfortable, little creepy areas. They chop tops in there. Some good things with Leatherface. It smells
like barbecue.
No, it smells at certain things, and fuck those pigs. Fuck
really?
the pigs. Fuck the pigs. That one pig, I have a thing with puppets after getting hit by one in 2018. I got hit by a lion puppet, and it hurt. So now when I see puppets, I get afraid they're gonna get a little too close to me. That pig almost got me. I was like, you bastard. Fuck those pigs. But it was overall, it's good. I liked it. Listen, it's a lot of times you hear the scare coming because they're chainsaws.
Right.
But I love it I liked it. It's fun. It's Texas Chainsaw, so I do enjoy it. Next up is Case Files Unearthed, The Legendary Truth. Case Files Unearthed, I'm going to realize higher than most people here. I really liked this house for the aesthetics of it. I enjoyed walking through it. I think it was visually good, had some potential for some good scares in here. Case Files Unearthed is as deep. Cannot emphasize the word deep enough. Cut, dive here as you'll get. The story makes zero sense unless you truly know the lore and background. It has to be spoon-fed to you. This really could have used a Q video to set it up. Basically, you're watching a new Legendary Truth member meeting named Tim Foyle.
Oh my God.
As Tim Foyle. Tim Foyle is going through the records and going through the books of Private Eye Boris Schuster, from Blood. Oh, I can't say that apparently, but from Dr. Mary Agata Bloody Mary's year of 2008 Reflections of Fear. And you basically go each room or set of rooms is like a Slaughter Cinema. You're walking through his detective novels of Boris Schuster finding there's 6 legions of horror for Horror Nights they introduced in 2012. Those 6 legions all have a totem. Each totem put together unleashes the gateway to hell. Each set of rooms has a totem. They all lead together with him putting the totems in a museum, which opens a gateway to hell. And where else are you going to hide everything then? Legendary Truth, the Collective is created. It takes place. Little pride here, takes place in New Jersey. Last scare is the Jersey Devil, baby. But it just Easter eggs galore in here a little bit, not as much as other houses. I really like this house for the aesthetics of it. I know a lot of others didn't. And again, unless you have any idea, you're gonna walk through and go, I don't know. I don't understand.
Was this the house for like the diehard Halloween Horror Nights fans that they would understand, but the house that like the average Joe or the person the first time going that they wouldn't understand the story for this?
Yes, there's actually 3 of those.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
This one's the deep one. No, this is the deepest one. This one, I'm a Horror Nights fan, and this was tough. This is tough to get. Like I had to look up onto it.
I remember the totems. I was there for that one.
The totems is 2012. I mean, you had to play the game to really understand. This thing was a deep dive. Next up, Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Universal Monsters presents The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. It's an enjoyable house. This one had a nice, complete story.
This one looked gorgeous.
It's a beautiful. Now here on out, the houses really start. It is a beautiful house. It looks great. It's themed. It smells, and the story is the monster. There's something, castle gets blown up or falls. The monster's dead. Frankenstein's bride's not happy. Bride needs a husband. Got to bring him back. So the whole progression of the story as it's being told is that he's coming down. She brings him back to life.
I feel like that's actually the movie.
Yeah.
If I remember the old black and white film with Boris Karloff, and I forget who played the Bride of Frankenstein, but I feel like that's actually the.
I do believe so. And it's a good house. I liked it. Again, some good inventive stuff here. The fly forward scare is my favorite. It's just cool to look at. I had a real few bad runs through here. Like again, some houses that had better runs, like Texas Chainsaw. I had it though. My second to last run through that was the best I was going to get. I got some good scares there. I had a good run the last one. This one, the last two, my last run through this was the best. I was like, I don't need to do this again. That was finally this. I got all the scares I wanted to see. I finally hit them right. My timing was a light would play, a sound would happen. You'd have to basically stand there, wait, and then the scare actor would finally come out. So I had that problem here a lot. I liked it. It's a nice house. I didn't like it as much as the Universal Monsters last year for the variety. This is just the Bride, but overall, it had a nice. I liked the story.
Did they? I thought they showed like vampires or something in the castle too near the end. Weren't they like Dracula's brides or something like that? I thought.
Oh well, they're not Dracula's brides for brides. They're Dracula's brides who are being sacrificed for their blood to bring the monster back.
Oh, okay.
The scene, blood will make them live.
Yeah,
and you see, it's a cool scene. It's a lot of cool scenes in this house. I did like it. Now we're getting to the top ones here. Now we're getting to the. I feel bad. Dozer's like, why am I even here today?
Oh no, I'm just taking notes.
Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland. This is the 30th anniversary house in the sense that. Okay, for a little background here, they were, and I forget what year it was, but they were looking to set houses in a local area. The one woman who worked there said, anybody have from a creepy town? My town has some creepy stuff in it, has some haunted stuff in it. Where are you from? I'm from Cary, Ohio. So they started setting things. This house takes place entirely in Cary, Ohio. Now, this is the deep dive in the sense that they're all older houses. These are all scenes from houses that had taken in the past. Not everything from Cary, but one's from Cary. So, I knew about it, but I did not go. I was before 2009. Ripped from the Silver Screen was before I go. The first house scene was the spawning. I didn't do the spawning, so I didn't get it. I'm like, I know it's not Depths of Fear, but there's Easter eggs. This house was a Horror Night fan house.
This is the one that
You could still enjoy it because it's not as much of a deep dive, but you could still enjoy it. But this one was definitely there are Easter eggs galore. If you think it is, there were every room. You start there, you go to the Hive. I did scream. Awesome. My buddies trolled me pretty good. You go to the Hive. I think it was after the Hive. You go to the Wyandotte Estate. You go to Dead End. You leave Dead End. You leave Dead End. And they turned around and they were hiding the poster intentionally. No, I was leading. And I absolutely went nuts when I saw the HR Blood and Guts poster. I started screaming. I was like, it's HR! They lied. They told me he wasn't there, but there he was. You go to HR's. This was a fun house. Some real good scares in here if you hit it right. Our second run through this was amazing. But it's a fun house. Also, little Easter egg for those who are looking through when you're in HR Blood and Guts scene, take a good look at the clothing rack where somebody may pop out in front of, because don't know how true it is. If it, we were told that is in there is, and I see the costume. I've been told that is Jack's original costume.
Get out of here.
They told, I don't know if it's the original. I'm like, why would you put it where someone could actually touch it? But they did tell us during the unmasking tour that some of what you're getting, folks, I did the Unmasking the Horror tour. You're getting some of that here with it too. That is Jack's original costume right there. Right in HR Blood and Guts. You go to Meets. From there you go to Meets. The end in Hellgate Prison, where either a prisoner or a dog of war is going to scare you on the final way out. Great house, good aesthetics. Just, again, it's a deep dive, but it's at least entertaining to walk through. If you've never been before, it's a good enough house to walk through. It's fun.
Unmask, is that like during the day with the lights on?
It's a behind the scenes tour. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
not the RIP, is the private tour. This is Unmasking the Horror. You can either do a 6 or a 3 house. Nobody did Beetlejuice. They basically weren't allowed to say the word Beetlejuice other than a name. No one went in there, period. Warner Brothers would not allow it.
Wow.
The 6 houses we did, they split into 3. The 3 house tour all did the same. The 6 house tour all did the same. We did Welcome to Scary, Wicked Growth, Puppet Theater, Haunting a Hill House, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and HHN Icons. Which, speaking of 4 of those houses, next up, Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin. This house is where they really started to slap. These houses were awesome. These got really, here's where we kick it up to the next level.
I saw the pictures of this house. This house is insane.
Wicked Growth, essentially, these 2 witches want to bring back the Pumpkin Lord. Do you hear this when you're walking inside? All hail the Pumpkin Lord. The facade, I haven't really touched on facades much here. The facade for Welcome to Scary was really cool because it's the billboard. You walk behind the sign, and there's Meaty Meats waiting to scare you with his chainsaw.
You keep saying Welcome to Scary, and I keep picturing Richard Scary and that little worm in the apple from the children's books.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Scary, a wonderful place to die. Wicked Growth, you're entering the realm of the pumpkin. These witches are enchanting or bringing the Pumpkin Lord back to life. As you go, the vines get thicker to symbolize that. Again, a lot of Easter eggs here, especially for Slaughter Cinema fans. You enter through, they have this tunnel of pumpkins, which during the day it looks, at night you just go through this funnel of pumpkins everywhere, including favorite Lil Boo. Lil Boo's there. But it was
Little Boo
cool
from
house.
Chicken Squad. Why is he there?
Yeah, no, Little Boo the pumpkin. If you're a Horror Nights fan, you'll know.
No. Chicken Squad. He's in Chicken Squad. He's the little quick chicken.
Yeah, okay. I know what you mean. I think
that is a deep Disney Junior reference to people.
But great house, great scares, great theming. As you go, the vines get thicker. Again, Easter eggs galore. Cult of the Beast Babies in here when we get to the One Witch's room. For those of you who do get to go down, when you leave the cemetery before entering the witch's house, the second scare actor to pop out on the left is called Kenkle. If you do chanting Kenkle, Kenkle will break it down. Kenkle gets down and funky. Kenkle starts, it's a big insider thing, little insider thing for you. But if you start, Kenkle starts breaking it down and dancing. Kenkle's in on it.
Awesome.
Because the scares are all named, but sometimes the name's like, what is this? But that's, again, behind the scenes things you wouldn't get. All sorts of Easter eggs to the caretaker, all the welcome to meets. You eventually get to the Pumpkin King's realm where you see the Pumpkin King himself. You're basically walking through a giant pumpkin. It's a cool house, good scares. This is good Horror Night stuff. Here's the surprise. Number 3. This is the surprise of the event because this was ranked very low for me heading in pre-Horror Nights. Netflix presents The Haunting of Hill House.
Wow, I know. I was going to say because you were like, no, this is going to
be... This house... If they release these people from the plastic, watch the fuck out. This
I'm
house is classic scary. This is a good house. Do not sleep on it. One of the best they did this year. It is creepy. They set everything up the right way. Everything there from the show as you want. It's.
Don't forget to look up. Don't forget to look up too.
Well, actually, better than that. There is a scene for those who've seen the show. Nell is laying down with her bent neck lady, spoiler herself, hanging in front of her. Well, actually, this scene they did is spoiled a little because they couldn't do what they wanted to do. Originally, they were going to hang Sif from the ceiling. So when it walked, you looked up, it was supposed to feel like you were looking into her hair.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it is a good, and it's a good scare. Unfortunately, it's a time scare. I finally got close, but each time when I had to stop to let it go off because I was not under her face. Time scare. Next to that is the whisper tunnel, creepy as hell. Which back to Wicked Growth for a second. There's a tunnel bridge in there, like one of those that tunnel bridge, covered bridge scene that is cool as hell looking. This is why you go to HHN. The details they put are awesome. But yeah, Hill House, scary. It's well themed. It was good. Hill House was.
Does it go through the whole show, or is it just basically those like scare moments in the show? Like the
it kind of goes. Like the tall guy's there multiple times. It goes, the bent neck lady's there. It goes through the progression. You get a lot of the different, not all the ghosts. It goes through the progression though. It goes through, when you walk in, you hear that it's the night when they're all escaping. That's not mom. You know, I see, whatever her name is in the window. Luke is the first scare. The old Luke is the first scare actor you see as you go through.
I don't know if they were like doing like the funeral house or anything.
The funeral home is not in there.
Okay, so it's just the haunted house then. So
it's really just the scenes in the Hill House itself.
Oh, okay. So I actually kind of like that better because
it works. It really
in the house. It's not that it's not like Stranger Things where you're going from like scene to scene to scene from the show.
Which works. They do scene transition houses all the time, but it's I liked it. It's I really liked it. It was fun to walk through. You didn't know, you got some good, again, even with the plastic, I got some good scares in it. Some got me real good in there. It was just a real good house.
Nice. I'm glad because that's the one that I was like, oh man, I want to go because of that.
Yeah, that's another. I didn't audit. Usually, there's always one. There's always a house that I think is going to be terrible and is great. Last time was House of a Thousand Corpses. 25 was Insidious. Actually, last year was House of a Thousand Corpses and Us. This time, Hill House. Wow, surprised the hell out of me.
So do you think? So here's another question then. Do you think they're going to do Blind Manor next year?
No.
You don't think they're going to do Blind Manor?
Bad idea. But Blind Manor is a different show. Blind Manor is almost a love story. I would not do Blind Manor. I don't think it would be good.
With the people with the missing faces? Yeah, the Lady of the Lake and all that?
I would not do Blind Manor. I think that's I think it's a mistake. I think here's the thing. I don't think you're topping this with Haunting of the Hill House.
No,
I don't think you're topping it.
Here's how you top Hill House. Don't do Blind Manor. Do Fear Street. Do the whole trilogy of Fear Street.
That's not topping it. It's just a different thing altogether.
No, you're topping it because that Fear Street was fantastic.
No, you're not topping it because it's not a haunting. It's a different thing altogether. There's a different properties. Different properties are different. Fear Street, who knows? That could be I'm curious to see if Netflix does going forward because they were supposed to do Sabrina. Thank God they didn't. I'm curious to see how their partnership with Netflix goes from here. I hope it's not Blind Manor. I would rather have Fear Street or another Netflix show.
But they just announced the ABC reboot of Sabrina too.
What?
Yeah, well, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina would...
hold the phone. What?
I have no confirmation. I saw somebody posted on my Facebook that Sabrina with Melissa Joan Hart is coming back. All the original people, she now has a daughter.
Wow.
Okay, well, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that then. I was like, if they were going to do a complete reboot without Melissa Joan Hart, I would be like, nope. But
no.
Melissa Joan Hart's my original crush.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like Clarissa Explains It All. Like they got to bring that back too.
No, if you're doing it, you have to have her. Chilling
So-
Adventures of Sabrina was based on a comic book, like Archie. It was in the Archie universe. It was not the same thing.
Speaking of ABC and Disney, did you guys hear about the announcement today though with Southwest?
Yeah.
Oh my God, partnering up. I see. When I read the article, it was clickbait because I thought something about like, oh, they're partnering with Southwest to do like promotional flight pack, something that would be interesting for my business. No, it's just, hey, Southwest is we're just repainting our planes.
They've done this with other airlines.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like not news. It happens occasionally. It's less interesting than Eastern Airlines.
It's like the same level as, hey, look at the monorail. Look what we did with our monorail
It's
system.
wrapped.
The monorails are cooler because the monorails are the monorails.
Yeah, this is true. Next would be like, hey, look at all of our Skyliners. They're all redecorated. But yeah, continue the list. So
No problem. Yeah, Hill House, big
Hill House
surprise.
is
I
really-
would gladly welcome Fear Street as a mega house next year. But if they're going to do Fear Street, please do all parts at once. But honestly, after the 2 Stranger Things house, even though the first Stranger Things house was well themed, just not scary at all, it looked great. I'm really okay with the Netflix partnership now, and I'm curious to see where we'll go from here.
Well, do you think they'll bring another Stranger Things house next year because it's the final
Fuck no! Hell no!
Did you see the trailer?
I don't think so. You don't. That last Stranger Things house was not well received.
I don't know. This final season, though, I just watched the new trailer with the kids.
First off, show's not even here yet. Second, I don't think so. Other than pushing merchandise, the Horror Nights team. All I'm gonna say is this: I know for a fact the Horror Nights team did not work well with the Stranger Things team. You can disagree all you want. I know the inside
it doesn't
here.
surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, but I'm just wondering if
it's not about that. That could end the partnership, and I don't think Netflix wants that.
Well, if Universal's smart, they wouldn't do it unless they pull it. No, I'm not going to say it.
What?
Oh,
Look,
nothing.
I have what I think a big house is going to be next year, but I'm going to save that for the end.
Oh,
No,
I
mean,
already have an idea for next year that I'm pretty sure. I think next year's getting a Horror Nights favorite's finally going to come, but we'll get there in 1 second.
Yeah, finish your
Next
list, and we'll
up,
talk about next season.
Top two here. HHN Icons captured as number 2. There's
Not
a reason.
number one.
Damn.
This could be. These 3 houses could easily be number 1. That's the thing. My top 3 here, any of these could be number 1. I'll explain why my number 1 is what it is, which I've already said before in a second. HHN Icons captured. This is a great house. If you know the Icons, they go back to basically when you meet them during the commercials. It is now
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so basically, now we're talking facades here. I didn't mention the Hill House facade. You're seeing Hill House boarded up with Hill House and Hell crossed over at the end there. This facade, you're walking into Fear's Lantern. Not only they have a Q video with flames popping up with the lantern and their faces appearing, which surprisingly, anytime I was watching it, when Storyteller appeared, those glasses appeared with the flames, it was like, that looks freaking cool, Storyteller.
Yeah.
You go, girl. If you look up, the vines, for the shaping of the lantern, spells Icons XXX. The details in this house are incredible. When you walk up, they have staves, one for each icon, and you enter. It's clear they have homages. You see a watch, the caretaker's across from it. You see a comedy tragedy max, chances across from that. Fear's the distraction because the man himself, Jack, is waiting to give you a couple scares. Here's one. If they took that plastic away, this Jack is going to get you because he ain't going to hold back. It was awesome. The first, right into Lady Luck. I was in heaven. But you go through it's just the details. At the end of Lady Luck's 2 scenes, they have lights because Lady Luck is a casino with a slot machine, and it goes through and you see other icon stuff, but suddenly if you time it right, they all land on cameras and the light starts flashing. Guess it's the director's time. Director's director's filming and he wants more. You step in, they have a woman, he's frying a woman because he makes snuff films. He's frying a woman in the bathtub. And if you stand on it when it goes off, the floor vibrates, you get some splashing on you.
Awesome.
It's well done. The whole thing, the caretaker's room. One of the nicest touches I liked was Storyteller, because when Storyteller first came out, Terror Queen really they kind of skinned it. Oh, she's also an icon. She just wasn't the icon. Well, you see, again, with the commercial, they had a guy in a bed. She's reading a story. She pulls back the covers. You think he's uncomfortable because he's scared. He's laying on a bed of nails and an anvil open over him. They show him dead with the anvil dropped, and you see Elsa, the cup they sold last year. The last line is, Elsa is I wish they sold it this year. Elsa is a demon and not what she appears. And you see Elsa Strict as the demon herself.
Oh,
you then enter a scene. What?
Is that the last scare of the house?
No, that's the last scare of her room. We're not. This is halfway through. We're not done yet.
Whoa.
The next scene is the icon that's not listed. The icon no one's talking about because lawsuit. Dr. Maria Gana, also known as another name which they can't be talked about because, well, it's a trademark name. They just didn't realize that at the time. Bloody Mary.
We can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about Bloody Mary has a room. All drop doors was really good. The drop doors when they go, it's a really cool scene. Then you get a bunch of jail cells, little Eddie homage, and sure enough, now you're in Jack's territory. Jack and Chance are there. Jack's up. They got Run up there, another homage to Eddie. Jack's actually there not to scare you. Chance is the scare on the other side. Not scary room, fun to walk through. Then you get to the end. The end is where this house changes regularly. Depending on when you walk through, the end, you turn the corner. The icons are going to be lining the sides in different holes. There is the throne. And different icon will be on the throne. And if you're there, time it long enough, we walk through. We had our "Did you miss me?" shirt. Jack, we got Jack right away. He hit the button, stood there, little smoke and light effect. But if you look up above the throne, they have Jack's head. It was it's a good house. It's a great house. It's Horror Nights. It's just a fun little thing here they have going on this year. And I only got to see it briefly as we were entering this, I think on night 2 or 3. Jack is roaming around the park. Not just any Jack. The man, James himself in the costume, is roaming around randomly with the bullhorn. We're entering icons. We can hear him. We're entering icons. A minute later, I would have got a picture. A minute sooner. The man, he was right there. I could have tackled him. James appeared as we're entering. I'm like, you know what? That's my only time I got to see him, but I finally got to see the man himself. My buddy got a picture with him next to Eddie, but he randomly appears barking at guests, and it was.
Well, were you guys there at like rope drop when the Halloween Horror Nights actually like opened for that day?
We did not rope drop any day, but the first day we were close to it.
He's there at rope drop because he actually opened.
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he had been there. It's random. Jack will appear randomly. So if you go down to Horror Nights and you're not in the house and you see him and he has a bullhorn, that's not just any Jack. It's the real McCoy. It is Jack himself. And he lives in the area. If you see a golf cart with lights on it, see the golf cart, he's coming. That's why my buddy goes, I see the golf cart. I see the golf cart. He's here. I'm telling he's here. I see the golf cart back there. And we just took only a minute because they were doing a cash change. I think if they didn't do the cash change, we would have gotten to see him and I would have gotten my little picture, but that's okay.
You know, that's one character an original character for Halloween Horror Nights that I'm surprised Universal as a film company never actually invested to do a horror film about.
Well.
Yet.
Rumor. HHN may get a movie eventually.
Like Halloween Horror Nights as a film.
Yeah.
Like that's the movie title?
They might know. I don't know the title, but that's the rumor is that there's a partnership with Blumhouse.
Oh, that makes
The
sense.
Horror Nights
That makes
Cinematic
sense.
Universe.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm here for it. Because that's the story. You get the background. I forget, obviously Caretaker was in the house. You go through him. Caretaker
You know-
slashing people apart.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because Blum isn't. Wait, what? Crypt TV. That's the thing that they had a
Crypt
partnership.
TV was one of the scare zones, and yes, it is yes, Jason Blum is a producer on it.
Okay, because it wouldn't surprise me if Crypt TV came out with a TV series, like on their streaming service, kind of like a limited series where they're like, "Are You Afraid of the Dark?" but they're Halloween Horror Night Tales, and it's like 30-minute episodes or 45-minute episodes about stories about the houses, or not about like the house itself.
I think if it was to come out, I think it would be through Blumhouse itself. I don't think it would be through Eli Roth.
Okay.
I don't think it would be through Eli.
That would, because they have so
Eli
much
Roth's Crypt TV is a very different thing. Jason Blum is the connection there. Unfortunately, the scares on that it just doesn't make sense because I don't really know it.
Or better yet, Peacock. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. I mean, I can see a full-length feature film or movies that are based off.
Look,
of
we ain't talking about the cock today. I hate the
Yeah.
cock.
Again, if it's going to be
Actually-
if they're going to do anything, I believe it's going to be through Blumhouse or their own. I don't think it's
Right.
going to be, and I don't think it's going to be through Crypt TV. Crypt TV, I think Crypt TV could be a house possibly, but again, we'll get to that in 1 second. Number one, my favorite, my number one house of the year. Again, controversial, puppet theater, captive audience. If you know me, this makes a lot of sense. I knew this going in. My buddy, the first time he did it, he goes, "That's going to be your favorite house." Here's your story here. I want to say it's 1906 and 1916. Big earthquake in San Francisco. At the time,
1906, I think.
Yeah, in the time at the Grandeur Theater, past puppet troupe was moved from Eastern Europe, was moving in as a ballet troupe was moving out. Literally, as the ballet troupe is moving off the stage to send the puppet troupe's going to come in, the earthquake happens. This takes place a year later. They have been trapped in this theater for a year. Audience, staff, and both troupes. The puppet troupe has got and has basically turned anything and everything they can into puppets. That is your premise. You are in a dilapidated theater that people are stuck there, and these psychopaths are turning people into puppets. You're in a theater where they're turning humans into puppets.
Yeah, I'm sold.
That is why this is my favorite. I got some good scares here. That first hallway with a dilapidated dressing room. Good scare there. That guy got me each time. The clown ahead of you dancing. One of my favorite moments. There's a next room. It's a real well done room. You see a woman. It's a silhouette of a woman doing a marionette show, practicing. The next scene, she's quiet. I'm still rehearsing. Well, she's got a decapitated head as a marionette. You go into the next room, the dressing room. You see a guy making. You don't really see this right away, but you have a dressing room making a puppet, and you just don't really making something. You just don't know what yet. I forget the line. He says, "This is a very important room. This is actually a very, very important room." Since 2008, with Dead Silence, Billy the Puppet has been in a Horror Nights house every year, except for one. It was very important. Billy the Puppet, he's hidden. You don't see him. He's hard to see. You wouldn't see him. We got to see. They showed us where he is during the tour. We all saw how 2020 turned out. So the Horror Nights team learned their lesson and put Billy the Puppet. You don't see him, but Billy the Puppet's there. So we're safe here, kids. You go on. You enter. This is the biggest thing they've ever done in this is one of the sprung tents. You enter the theater. You can actually see video of they had on Peacock of Michael Aiello, Greg Nicotero, and the one head of the house, I forget his name, will do a whole thing, but they're sitting in the theater. You're in a sprung tent. These are not big tents. The theater is huge. The theater is just huge. More Dead Silence puppets on the stage. Again, a woman up top. They really started interacting. It was just really well done. I just love the house. Some of the scares, creepy as hell. You get to the ballerina room. You're behind this. Then you go underneath the stage. Shakespeare soliloquy happening. You get to the music area. I just love this house. Only thing I really don't like, I didn't like, I could nix them on here would be the ending and the entrance right here. You're entering you're seeing the front of the dilapidated theater. You enter in the first 2 hallways, not much is happening. You're just looking at the collapsed, and I mean collapsedness of this building, setting up what you're about to go into, because that's all outside. Then you finally enter the tent. I just loved it. I loved it. Every time we walked through, it brought a smile to my face. I absolutely loved it. Don't love their candle. Their candle smelled like hell. Smells like old popcorn. It smells disgusting.
Oh.
Scare zones are okay. The best one's the Eddie scare zone. Lights, camera, action. A lot of Easter eggs there. The tricks and foons, just a wave to you.
Did you watch? Was the Academy of Villains there, or whatever that?
No, it is Nightmare. It's Nightmare Fuel, and I refuse to go in because it looks like Cirque du Soleil does S&M, and I don't like Cirque du Soleil. And frankly, I wasn't interested in it. I did watch Marathon of Mayhem, the water show, the water and light show. It's okay. It's good. It wasn't as good as last year's, but it's enjoyable. We caught it just as the show was starting, so we ran in, watched it, and left. Unless it's Bill and Ted, I don't have much.
I know.
Interest.
I miss Bill and Ted. They need to bring that back.
The one shirt they're selling looked like they were going to do a Jack show, but it didn't happen. So, who knows? The scare zones are ho-hum. Seek and Destroy is okay. It's kind of like a watered-down version of The Purge. It's not as good.
Speaking of The Purge, did you see footage of the Terror Tram this year out in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is probably the best Terror Tram to date. Like, that alone makes me want to go out the.
3 words: Titans of Terror. You're welcome.
Okay. Second best then.
Second best. Thank you. I was like,
Second
it
best.
looks good. It looks good. The fact that for Titans of Terror, Chucky was your tram driver says everything you need to know. That's why it can't be number 1.
That's true. Chucky. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I do like how like you were able to walk up to the plane crash, and they made Purge they made the plane crash part of the Purge universe. That was awesome.
Well, it works after, if you haven't seen it, it works after the Forever Purge.
It does.
Or Purge Ever After, whichever you want to call it. I loved it in the Forever. Well, no, it's in
the Forever Purge.
Well, the Forever Purge had 3 different titles, and all titles are mentioned throughout the movie. This is the Forever Purge. This is Purge Ever After. This is the Purge Ever After. I forget what the Eternal Purge. All 3 were on point. Where the 2 were rumored, and then the final one was finally out. The scare zones are okay. Chucky is just a glorified photo spot. So
I saw that.
But I thought they had the silhouettes of him in the box. I thought maybe they would do more with it. I also was a little sad. I originally thought it was going to be Insult Emporium. So
I thought it would have been really cool as like a photo op scare zone where you take your photo and then Chucky would pop out behind you, and that's when you take the photo.
Yeah, I agree. But I would have really rather have had Insult Emporium, because this year, I think it's because all the chainsaws they were used different. They were chainsaws almost all the scare zones, kind of, but there was no clowns and Simpsons, which just upset me. So,
all right. So next year theories. What do you think will be like the house?
The rights have returned. They might have been sold right back off, but the rights are returned. This is it. This is the moment. It is time for Hellraiser. They've wanted it. We have all wanted Hellraiser for years. I think Crypt TV is certainly a possibility because they like to do that, have it a scare zone, have it a house. So I think Crypt TV is certainly a possibility. But this is it. There's never been a better time. This is the moment for Hellraiser. Pinhead needs to have his moment in the sun at the event.
Do you think he would be the host?
No.
Okay.
I hope we go back to icons. I'm I'm hoping, I'm praying, please, for the love of God, let HR Blood and Guts host the event.
I
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
I wouldn't be opposed to once Epic Universe gets up and running. I wouldn't be surprised or opposed to if they actually have 2 Halloween Horror Night events at Epic Universe. And
No.
because
I've actually discussed this. They would never run 2 events. There's a big problem with Epic Universe, and I've said this to other people. The rumored structure of the park is going to be a problem.
really,
If you have a central hub that everyone can go in, but unless you have a theme park ticket, that's how you enter each spoke. That's the issue. I don't think it could be done as easily. However, this is where you want to have a year-round haunt. That's why I said Universal Monsters. If you're going to have a year-round haunt kind of attraction, it's going to be in that section.
yeah.
I think that's where you're going to have, that would be their best opportunity. I think that's where it would do best because it's Universal Monsters. It works. I don't think Epic Universe will see it. Yeah, it may. Once they open it, it may. I'm not saying it won't because, hey, they did it with Islands.
Right.
That worked out. Everyone thought that was good. Every reporter said, this is going to be terrible. We had a record-breaking year. Oh, I forgot. Welcome to Scary. Middle House, I forgot to mention, they had the schoolhouse and a bit of orphanage. Cindy Kane is in there. All the icons that were ever even considered were all in the event this year. Terror Queen had a scare zone. Eddie had a scare zone. Cindy Kane appears as in Welcome to Scary. And in Wicked Growth, you see Nathaniel Crow. Was supposed to be Nathaniel Crow, who was an icon they never used. He was going to be after Carnival of Carnage, blah, 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 blah.
That's awesome that this year for 30 years we're seeing the icon.
Listen, was it as scary as I would have liked or as other years? Like I said, no, but I'd rather have Horror Nights. Like, it's a fun event. It's just a great atmosphere. We really did have a blast. Got to my shout out, my buddy's goddaughter and his sister and his goddaughter came up and took her to her first Horror Nights event, had a blast, really did. I would go to Horror Nights with a kid with a heartbeat. They were posing with pictures with the scare actors and the scare zones. It was cool. It was really cool.
Nice.
We had a really good time.
That's awesome.
Bruce.
Dozer.
I don't think this is a house.
Okay.
But I think it could be a show.
I like shows.
And I'm talking about a movie coming out in 2022. I think we need a return. Or, well, it's not a return, but Tromaville needs to make an appearance.
I would die. And it could be a house. That could easily be a joke house. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm going to call it here and now. I think Scream's coming.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is it. They've never had, the estate will never have a better opportunity. I don't know if it, I think it will. Again, I shouldn't say I think it will. I hope it will. Again, only because I don't know if they're willing to work with the estate again after last time, but.
Well, they're doing it like a sequel reboot, aren't they?
They're doing a reboot. It is a reboot. It is not a sequel. It's a sequel in the sense that they're going to be in it, but apparently this is like a offshoot.
I'm just going to say, since we're talking about Scream, take your time, log on to Hulu or your favorite video provider, and watch You Cannot Kill David Arquette. For the love of God, watch this movie.
Done. Is it on Hulu?
It is on Hulu, and it is about his redemption tour to prove he does belong in pro wrestling.
That's awesome.
Get out of here.
That's awesome.
And he did a legit death match with Nick effing Gage.
What?
Oh, yeah, Nick Gage went off script and cut him, and it went bad. It went real bad. And you need to see this movie because he has done legit, like, independent wrestling, not the big WWE stuff. And his because, back in the Ready to Rumble days, he was the WCW champion, and that just didn't go well. So watch this movie.
I have to.
Amazing, terrible disaster, and I love it.
I will. And to circle back for a second, Dozer, I hope they hear you. I would love for Tromaville to have an
Yeah.
appearance at HHN.
Look,
Also, a little shout out here to the tribute store was awesome. Not to cut you off, we'll get there 1 second. But talking about Disney and their guest services and everything, merch services for Universal is killer. If you're down for anything, like for Star Wars, if you're down for Harry Potter, it's something you wanted in the park, something you saw online, just call. I'm telling, they got me a sweatshirt last year that I saw online that they didn't have on the website. They weren't listing it. They worked magic for me today. There was a mug I really wanted that I never saw in the parks. She explained why I never saw it. Found one.
Wow.
So got me one.
nice.
So
That's
merch
actually one.
shout out to merch services. I've done this before. I love merch services at Disney and Universal. Shout out to merch services team out there. If you work merch services, mwah!
Yeah.
We love you.
That's awesome.
But anyway,
But-
sorry, go on.
I'm just looking at the cast list, and you actually have a cast list that has names.
Like,
Well, as rumored to be Toxie, because he's listed as starring, Peter Dinklage.
Really?
You
So-
have
no. So he's not Toxie, he's Melvin.
no, the Wikipedia, and Wikipedia lists Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger.
I have questions. Is he the leprechaun? Is he Chucky?
I don't know.
I have questions.
Yeah.
But also in this movie, you have one of Philadelphia's favorite sons, Kevin Bacon. And then you have an actor who has starred in Emmy Award-winning films and not much after, Elijah Wood.
My God, how did they get have none of them seen Toxic Avenger? What is this? Did they bribe them?
Honestly, I feel like they just had pictures on a dartboard and they were just throwing darts to say, okay, who are we going to cast as this role?
Look,
How did they get them? Are they in trouble? Like, do we need to reach out? Do you think they're in trouble? I'm being serious.
I only
like, do we
found
think
out
they're
about
being
this
blackmailed?
movie from an episode of Hot Ones with Elijah Wood.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Dozer, Brian, you love this. He goes the Toxic Avenger movie. What the heck are you talking? Toxic Avenger? We ain't gonna ever see one of those. And he sends me a link. I'm like, son of you
Oh,
kidding? Son of the Toxic Avenger. It lives.
There's like, isn't there like 5 of them?
Yeah, including son of the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Like I made it through the first one, and afterwards I'm like, all right, I'll give the saga a go. I think I made it through. I think the third one. I was like, I can't take any more of these.
There's
They're just
only
getting
one
worse and
thing-
worse and worse.
I was introduced from the Toxic Avenger through the Toxic Crusaders.
Toxic Crusaders. There's one thing I want from this movie, and one thing only. There's one thing, in my opinion, that will make this movie an absolute success. Feed my chicken Stein. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Give me chicken Stein. Give me chicken Stein. Trauma Cinematic Universe. Make it happen.
In Tromaville.
Oh my gosh, I would die. We can get the movie adaptation, the musical. Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh my God. Of all the musicals, I am sad I have never been able to see. Toxic Avenger is among them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see the Broadway HD version from England.
It's terrible. It is so poorly done. They took all of the humor and just zapped it away. I don't know how they did it, but like, you did it. You took something good and you ruined it. Congratulations.
Because you have British people telling New Jersey jokes.
Yeah.
Not just that. It was done in
They don't
such
get
a. The humor is done in such a way. It was so tongue in. It was like so. It was not tongue in cheek. It was so. Where it was kind of deadpan off. It's kind of deadpan and they're going over the top. This was done with Agatha Harkness. That kind of thing. It was like, come on, you're kidding me, right? The One Little Shop, not the current one, they did on Broadway. It was like, you don't have to be tongue in cheek about this. Like, yeah, we get it. we get it. We get it. You're an evil mayor trying to take over. We freaking get it.
Right.
No, I want this to be a house, a show, a scare zone. I want it to be something.
I could see a house.
New York Scare Zone. New York Scare Zone. That's it. That's it. That's the one. Put it in New York. It'll kick ass. That's it. That's the one. Because if they do a scare zone of it, it'll be a house the next year. You heard it here. Guaranteed. A show would be awesome. The problem, well, I should actually say that talking about Horror Nights, there's a problem with shows. The show venue is going away. The rumor has it at the conclusion of Halloween Horror Nights at the end of October. That's it.
No more
Goodbye.
shows.
No more shows. It has been a trip. You have served us well, but Fear Factor Live Theater will be scrapped. They're gonna apparently that's the rumors that they're scrapping it. So I'm afraid I don't know what will happen. Who knows? That's the rumor.
Bruce, can you help me with my universal geography here? Fear Factor Live, was that the old Wild West Stunt Show Theater?
Bingo. Yep.
Yeah, this can show how recently I've been to Universal.
Now, but I do know certain areas of the backstage which will be opening up. They could easily build a temporary thing. I have heard that. But that's the going rumor is that land clearing will be happening at the Fear Factor Live Arena, which people are already rumoring it's going to be the
Ministry of Magic.
Thank you. I was like, the thing with Harry Potter where all of them go, that's in charge, it's the government. Thank you, Ministry of Magic. I don't think so, only because
everybody wants more government.
Well, but it's more than that. I know you guys, Brian, you're at least familiar with this. Where they made fun of Moana. Bill and Ted made fun of Moana, and she comes out. There's a reason the joke was because, I'm a boy, you're a girl, build apartments behind me. They built these apartments that are like backed up to the theater.
Yeah.
Like there's an access road back there what you can see from when you get out of the Men in Black tent. Then there's the apartments right there. They can see and hear everything. So I know that
these people must hate their lives.
Some of them love it. Like some of them have spoiled things. The Marathon of Mayhem. People were like, people on their balcony going, "Wait a minute! I hear killer clowns out there." They hear Bill and Ted testing. People have been like post videos before and pissed off hard because like, why are you showing that? The show hasn't like sometimes they've done testing, but like make sure they do it at odd times because people would just absolutely be like, hold on, I can film this. But yes,
they make this stuff. It's called fabric. You can get fabric in nice long stretches, and you can really obscure a view well with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more the construction. I don't know about noise permits and everything. I don't
care about noise. You can hear it, but put up some fabric so you can't take a goddamn photo of it.
It's not about what they're building and everything. Universal, frankly, when it comes to that, they really don't care what it comes. Okay, fine. You want to show us doing our show? You're welcome. Fucking take a look. Have fun. It's more, I don't know about building what the city will allow them to do is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have
no idea. Because they did not have the insight to create their own city.
No.
They didn't create their own agricultural improvement.
They didn't. District. They just passed Potter's Law. We want to operate how Disney does. Hey, SeaWorld, yeah? Come down to City Hall. We have an idea. I'm pretty sure that's how the conversation went. Yeah, come on over. Why? We're taking around to City Hall. Why? Just get in, bitch.
Look, Rocco taught me something. You can't fight City Hall.
You can't beat corporate America.
Okay. And he also taught me recycling, too.
No, but is that how we spell it?
No.
You know what? We just have to talk a little bit.
COSNARVE conserve. Don't you PLUTE pollute the river, sky, or sea, or else we're gonna get what we deserve. Of course, I remember that. Come on.
Did you watch the new Rocco movie on Netflix like 2 years ago?
I watched it a lot. Wait, I liked it.
Yeah, it was like how it was trying to live in the 21st century.
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys didn't play that
It's
on background?
delightfully horrible. I loved it.
I made sure to play that and Invader Zim on repeat for like 2 weeks. I did nothing but switch between the two because I said I want these to succeed, so Netflix does more of this. So I'm just going to keep running them. I'm going to push the user count up on my own.
I know that rocker special was.
Which brings me, which also quick reminder. Alien Xmas on Netflix. Keep streaming it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care that it's Halloween. Alien Xmas on Netflix. We need this.
Okay. But we gotta hint at some coming attractions. And it fits with our Halloween theme of Halloween Horror Nights. On October 5th, Netflix will be releasing, I can never remember the right name, but it's basically Revenge of the Undertaker, and it's a choose-your-own-adventure movie with The Undertaker and The New Day from WWE. And it sounds absolutely terrible. So, not next week, but in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to review that thing.
Yes. It sounds about as good as you would think. I mean, it could be next week. No, it can't be next week. Never mind. Sorry.
No, it's on the 5th. I have a job.
Yeah.
He has a job. You have a job.
I realized that. I was like, the 5th is... Oh, no. The 5th is not Sunday. Never mind.
The 5th is a Tuesday.
5th is Tuesday.
Yep.
But it's a wonderful birthday gift to me. I get to watch The Undertaker and The New Day be terrible.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
And Jasper's doing something Bruce is not a fan of.
That's right. Your birthday's on October 6th, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I always get all the good Halloween stuff, so I never argue it. And if my birthday's on a Friday, that means the following Friday is a Friday the 13th.
That's true. Yeah, because that's right, because mine's the 27th.
I've watched a lot of Jason movies for my birthday.
It was always Michael Myers for me. It was either Michael Myers or
like
Saw.
the go-to?
Yeah,
but
just because my birthday falls right around Halloween, so I always like to sit and just do Halloween marathon.
My birthday was always my birthday party tended to be Friday the 13th. You had to watch Jason.
Oh yeah.
Since I'm in January, hey, listen, I can't complain. I'm getting Scream for birthday this year. I'm in gold.
God,
yeah,
I don't know why I'm excited for Scream, but I am, but I'm not.
You know why? Because think about it. Has there really been a truly atrocious Scream movie?
No, they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Good movies. Fantastic movies. Worth it.
Like Final Destination.
And they're all good in a mass market sense, not just the horror movie click sense.
Now, I will say this. I was not a fan of the MTV Scream show.
The first two
Nobody
seasons weren't bad. I heard season 3 was garbage. But have you seen the trailer? I know what you did.
Wait.
Amazon's TV series, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, I thought you were going to be talking about, the new Halloween Kills trailer, which just is like fandom galore.
Well, Halloween Kills is coming soon. No, I was talking about think of it this way, you have Halloween Kills. If you're a fan, we have Chucky coming, which I can't believe I'm saying these words because he's about the horror icon who has the longest continuing running story. I know.
No, wait, is this the Chucky TV series or is this the
TV
okay?
series?
Yeah, because they're bringing back what's his face to do the voice of Chucky again.
Well, he's the only voice of Chucky.
Well, Mark Hamill did.
No, that's a different series. That is not the same thing. There's a reason. Okay, let me answer that with this. Child's Play, Child's Play, Child's Play, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3. Notice a pattern here? Those are 3 Child's Play movies. Bride of Chucky. Seed of Chucky. Revenge of Chucky. Cult or A Curse of Chucky. Cult of Chucky. Noticing a pattern here? They don't own the rights to the word Child's Play. That's why that is not Chucky.
Yeah, that
I
makes
have
sense.
seen 4 of those movies. You can guess which 4.
I'm not a Child's Play fan. I'm really
Probably the last 4.
My friend it was a big one, so I'm going to be subjected. I'm going to have to watch. It actually doesn't look bad, but we have that coming. We have Halloween Kills coming. You have Scream. We have I Know What You Did Last Summer, the series on Amazon. We have Halloween Ends next year. There's actually some pretty good classic horror stuff coming.
Wait, they
And-
actually are doing Halloween Ends, because the way how this Halloween Kills movie looks.
It does not end. There's an open-ended ending. Just be prepared for it. Halloween Ends was filmed. If not filming, it was. If it's not hasn't been filmed, it's filming. Halloween Ends. This trilogy was happening. It was set. This is a trilogy of games. Trilogy of movies. Halloween Ends is coming next year.
All right. Yeah, because that
Well,
trailer
it's
when
about time, because it's the series that never ends.
Well,
Well,
remember, there's multiple. There is offshoots.
I know, it's more
Multiple
confusing than
survivors.
Zelda.
What?
More confusing than the Zelda timeline.
That's impossible. Actually, you know what this is almost as confusing as? Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
They invented fractions for that.
Well, this is almost like variants of Michael Myers. It's everything's a multiverse now. They're all variants.
I believe in my heart this is it. Halloween Ends will end as we all think it probably. If you don't think it will, it's going to end with Laurie Strode and Michael dying at the same time because this is the time. Laurie, I love you, Laurie. I love you, Jamie Lee. It's time to go.
Sure, and then give him like 3.5 years, and we'll come out with a reboot.
The reboot doesn't have to include her, though. They can do whatever they want. Here's all I want.
Series that never ends. It goes
like,
on and on,
you guys don't
my
know.
friend.
Oh, I guess you guys missed the memo. You know what Netflix picked up?
What? Texas Chainsaw.
They made another one. You want to talk about a series of movies that just doesn't end and doesn't seem to get the hint? And I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw fan. They just don't get it.
But here's the thing. Almost all the Halloween movies get mass market appeal. Not all the Texas Chainsaws get that.
None of them.
I don't know.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an indie movie.
I don't know. I kind of do like the Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Your opinion is bad, and you should feel.
I'm kidding. That is like the worst one.
Was it? Did you see Texas 3D?
Let's see.
I don't think I did.
The original works.
Yeah.
Because it's not gore porn. It's not torture porn.
It is. It was just all off. It's all implied. The original is
that's what I mean.
My favorite horror movie ever.
It's not like Hostel. It's not like Hostel, or Human Centipede.
Well, listen. Since we're talking. I mean, there's some great horror. Malignant out there. If you're on Shudder, Shudder has some great horror movies going on right now. Creepshow's back again, which that's another thing I think will be at Horror Nights next year.
I agree. I do agree. Creepshow. I've been watching that. I've been rewatching. God, I just wish they do something with Twilight Zone. Somebody needs to do something with Twilight Zone. I don't know. Like Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone is awesome.
That's not going to be the property I think comes with Jordan Peele's
name. I know. Universal.
No, that's not what I'm getting at. I think Jordan Peele may be executive producer on a movie that comes to Horror Nights.
What would?
Say it 5 times.
Oh, I could see that.
But I hope it's the original because, well, I'm just going to say it. I love Tony Todd.
Yeah.
I love Tony Todd.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's fantastic.
He is Candyman.
He's synonymous.
Yeah.
He looks at, if I met him and he looked at me with those eyes, I probably would run.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nope, I ain't messing with. Listen, there's many actors. Obviously, there's many actors out there. If any of them are going to embody the person that they play, it's either going to be Robert Englund or Tony Todd. Take your pick.
What about Tobin Bell's Jigsaw?
What about him?
No, just someone that just like if you saw him in public, that he would just have that appearance. Like,
Nah. That's just Tobin Bell being Tobin Bell.
that's true.
That's how he talks.
That's like James Spader. Like, you just hear James Spader, and some people are like, "Oh, it's Ultron." Me, it's Robert California from The Office, but
he's done nothing. James Spader, everyone's like, I knew he'd be perfect because why? That's just him being him. That's what he sounds like.
okay,
I think Boston Legal when I hear his voice. So.
True. Speaking of James Spader, so have you guys been watching What If on Disney Plus, the Marvel's What If?
I have not watched What If yet.
You have to.
I know. There is a
good.
lot I'm watching because Squid Games right now.
You and your squids.
It's not has anything to do with squids, but Squid Games on Netflix. It's a Korean show. Woohoo! It's good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Those are we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, bud.
I see moving. I see mouth. I hear nothing.
No, we don't hear you, bud.
Test. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
It was weird. My headset died, and then for some reason my mic stopped working. But you watch something called Squid Games? You of all people?
That's what I was saying.
Okay, one episode does have squid in it, but it was a very quick cover my eyes. I'm good. It's called Squid Games because that's a game I guess it's apparently a thing in Korea. I think it's a Korean show. So, but apparently it's a kids game they play that take place on they call the board a squid. It's a shape. It's a square with a triangle on top. They call it a squid. That's why it's called Squid Games. The whole premise is that these people
I hear Squid Games and just think Splatoon.
Yes, I know. These people are all kind of rounded up. They all owe a huge debt, and they're allowed to compete in these games where they can win a huge amount of money. They're all kids games. They're all very simple kids games. Just follow the rules, complete the games, and you'll win the money. The losers all get killed.
Okay.
So it's like the Thunderdome or Rollerball or that opening game from Dead Rising 2.
The Bilko Experiment. Sorry, folks, I had to let the dog out and in. It Danganronpa. It's all one of those that they're death games.
Ooh, The Condemned. We'll watch a great Stone Cold movie.
What? Longest Yard? What?
Oh yeah, he was in that too.
Well, the remake, the original, the superior version.
Now my dog's barking out. He hears something. I don't know what he hears.
My dog is currently probably sleeping in my spot in the bed, so.
I'm surprised he's not doing the same thing. My dog in the bed. He normally does.
This is saying, Dad, I want to see what you're doing. Also, why aren't you reclining? I would like to sleep between your legs now.
There's a new show on Netflix that my buddy just started watching. He said it's one of the best vampire shows out there.
Is it Midnight Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on my list.
I know it's on my list too. I've been watching.
I have that. I'm working through The Circle. Meg's right. For a Disney podcast, we like to talk about lots of different things that aren't Disney.
I know.
Oh yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Back to the whole James Spader with Marvel's What If.
Yes.
With not giving too many spoilers out, tomorrow's episode, it's what if Ultron won and got a hold of all the Infinity Stones. And they haven't announced it yet, but there's heavy rumors that James Spader is going to be doing the voice of Ultron for the show.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yes.
Well, he said. The thing is,
they've
James
always
Spader
set up the return of Ultron.
Well, and he said he was a one and doneer off of the movie. That he was just doing the one film and that was it.
That's what he said. Here's the thing.
The line in Rise of Ultron or whatever the hell we called that movie, I forget.
Age of Ultron.
You have to kill every single part. That just set up that Ultron's not dead.
The problem with a lot of the people with their movies, these characters will always come back, but all this controversy. They've replaced these characters. They've recast them. What if or alternate timelines? That means they could easily be different people playing these stupid parts. Because, frankly, there's a lot of stories from What If they didn't even do that I would like to see. There's also a lot of stories in general. I just really, 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 really want Doc Ock to go in Spider-Man's body. I want it.
Look,
I want it now. I also want Sleeper Cell Captain America.
I don't care about any of that. The sheer fact of hearing Chadwick Boseman is amazing.
Well, yeah, and he plays Star-Lord in this, which is fantastic.
I haven't watched it yet. But I do agree. Ultron being James Spader back as Ultron would be awesome.
Yeah. What was I going to say about What If? Not all the actors are back playing their roles. Like they have other people playing, like Tony Stark or like
Tom Holland isn't there.
But
Drax isn't there.
Some people are freaking out over that, making clickbait articles. I don't see it as a big deal.
No.
Somehow,
but these
I
are
am
all
still amazed that somehow Dave Bautista has something better to do.
Somehow, some way, I can't believe I'm saying this. He's a crap actor who's actually made a career for himself.
There's a lot of them.
Bautista, I really thought was going to fall flat on his face because Bautista is too damn opinionated for his own goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
I never cared for him as a wrestler. I not that I hated him, but I just as an actor, there's times I'm like, Dave Bautista, he somehow is making a pretty damn good career for himself. Not as good as John Cena, but
I just got to touch on things I've recently talked about. Wrestlers who should have no business having the career they have, but are somehow praised by the wrestling media. The Miz.
Yeah. Praise. Preach.
Because you know what? He does whatever he's asked. He is perfect in that. And he does it till the heart's content. Oh, you want me to do a reality show? Okay. The Miz is amazing. But he's a shit wrestler. But he's amazing.
He's a personality. That's what they look, because that's how he got it. Listen, I used to think it's a contest right now. I don't know who's going to end up having the more success as they go, because I got to tell you, after Suicide Squad, John Cena's not bad.
Yeah.
He's decidedly not bad. Like, holy damn.
Like,
no, John Cena's pretty damn good.
The fact that he was able to go acting chops-wise toe-to-toe with Idris Elba, who I think is a very much underrated performer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people give him that man enough credit.
I still think
man's
he's the next
amazing.
James Bond. I think he's the next James Bond. That's I'm putting money down right now.
Charlize Theron, what? Who said that?
Wait, what?
Charlize Theron, who said that?
Oh God.
If it's Charlize Theron, by
No
the way,
comment.
I would actually cry because my buddy who passed away in the Lions Club, that's what his pick was. He said, like, that's actually a really smart idea. If they announced that, I'd be like on the floor in tears. I'm like, Dave, how'd you know?
No, it's going to
But
be
you know what?
This black double agent after the 005 or whatever her name is.
I would
like
love, and I would, yes, I would love Idris Elba. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He can do whatever he wants.
Agreed.
And now we're at dead silence.
Which
I can't tell what's working and what's
not. That is
not
an
anymore.
underrated movie right there. It's Halloween season. If you've never seen it, Dead
It's
Silence is a James Wan's underrated hit. I'm
It
sorry. Malignant's great. It's batshit crazy, but great. James Wan is known for some big movies. If you've never seen it before, I really like Dead Silence.
Did he do The Conjuring?
Yes.
All of them?
No, I don't think he did number 3. I think he did number 1 and 2.
Okay. I'm just
Well,
waiting for the next.
he didn't do The Conjuring National Treasure. I mean, Devil Made Me Do It. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, wait.
That's pretty accurate.
I'm not wrong at all. That's what it was. It is adventure. It is an adventure movie. It is not a horror movie.
Yeah. That's pretty. I'm just waiting for the Many Saints of Newark to come out on HBO.
That looks good.
I know. I came across.
I'm a
this movie
terrible Sicilian, and I've never seen all of The Sopranos.
Do you guys remember? It came out last year, but because of COVID, it didn't make it through the theaters. But there was a movie called Capone starring Tom Hardy. Do you remember hearing? I just watched on Amazon Prime. That movie is so sad. Like, I'm watching this movie. I'm like, what am I It is literally days up until when he passes away. And you just see this, like, mobster basically go into turmoil and just dying. And he has these hallucination scenes, and Tom Hardy did a really good job playing out, even though he's playing, like, all in makeup. He did a really good job playing this, like, delusional gangster. And it was depressing to watch, but it was still good. And there was this sub story that apparently he had $10 million hidden away that he didn't remember where he buried, and to this day the money's never been found. No idea. I had no idea that there was hidden treasure from Al Capone. It's like worth $10 million. Well, back then it was $10 million.
Geraldo thought there was. Too soon?
Well, too soon, but also it depends how the $10 million is saved. Is it gold or is it dollar bills? Because dollar bills, it's 10 million. If it's gold, it's worth considerably more.
Well, apparently it was the money when, I guess, his crime family got while he was arrested for tax evasion. Like, he was able to actually get it while being under arrest and hit it from.
Well, you can still collect rent while in jail. Monopoly taught us that.
Yeah. But I guess in the film, like, everyone was trying to know, like, hey, like, the family members were like, where's the money? And he didn't like trust anyone because he was dying from syphilis, but it made him, like, insane. And he just, like, there's this one part in the film where he takes out a Tommy gun and shoots, like, his gardener. Like, it's so random. Like, it's random and sad, but I'm like, this actually is good. It's a good movie, but it's, like, really depressing. Yeah. But yeah, I just saw that on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I may watch that one day. Probably not, because that's my style. But we have veered thoroughly off the Disney course.
Yes, we have.
We never intended to be on the Disney course tonight, so that's not all that surprising.
That's not.
I'm going to cut us off here.
Real quick.
Go on.
Indiana Jones is coming back. Stunt Spectacular is coming back. Rehearsal started.
Ugh.
Don't roll your eyes. That is like it's the longest running live action show.
Just demolish it and put something else in for Christ's sake. Yeah, keep threatening it.
Bruce, for right now, stop. Hollywood needs the attractions.
Yeah.
I know. I'm aware.
And I'm not going to lie to you when I say this. When I went to Epcot is not a park right now. It is just World Showcase and Spaceship Earth. That is it. Like, I could not find Test Track. I could not find Mission Space. I don't know how I got to Soarin' because we were crawling back from the tequila bar. So I don't know how I got there.
That's your own fault.
Well, no, he's got a point. The construction they're doing is
it's a nightmare. The Creation Shop. I don't know if you guys. I'm wearing actually the one shirt that I bought at the Creation Shop. It's awesome. It's the Epcot logo, like from the sphere. That shop is amazing. The old mouse gear. So much stuff in there. So much stuff. However, it was funny that we were in line to cash out, and I took a picture of this one lady. She literally bought 2 of every item in that store. She had a stroller. I shit you not, a stroller. From what I counted, 12 bags. 12 large bags. The extra large.
Did she have a child with her?
No.
She still comes to the parks. Oh my God, I know who she is. Oh my God, she was coming 10 years ago. I know exactly who she is. Oh my God, that psychopath's still coming. She's nuts. She is absolutely nuts.
Brunette?
Yes.
Wears like gym gear. Like, she looks like she wears like gym outfits.
I can't remember what she wore, but she always had a stroller, but never had a child.
Hold on, I might still have a picture. Hold on.
It's literally been a decade, so I don't know if I remember exactly. But I'm like, as you said, I was like, that sounds like that crazy lady who used to show up at GR all the time.
Let me see
Oh
if I
dear
can
Lord.
find it. But like,
I know these
so
people exist, but dear God.
let me see if I can find a picture because I was with my roommate and we sent it to the group post and I commented, I said, see, this is why we can't have nice things. Because like seriously, like oh god, let me see if I can find it here.
And yes, I hear the creation shop is beautiful. Not as good as the popcorn stand on the way in, but I hear it's absolutely awesome.
All right, I'm not gonna post it on the video, but I'm gonna send it to you guys.
Please.
You may have to
Absolutely, yeah. We don't
you
want
may
to.
have to you may have to zoom in, but I'm gonna send it to you. But my buddy, my roommate is the one that like pointed to her, and you can just see all the bags and stroller.
I can't tell. I
She's
thought
got
that no, I don't think it's the same
well,
woman. I think that woman was older, but I can't tell from this angle with the mask on.
she has purple hair, but yeah, she has a stroller
Might be.
and it is loaded. Like and it's those large bags, and she literally has two of every item. And here was my question too. So in the picture, you could see two of the backpacks. So she has two of those, but right before, like right after this photo was taken, she had hangers of shirts, which I know were at least 6 of the same shirt. But I think when they say 2 of each item, I think they're emphasizing 2 sizes of each item too. Because
No,
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think so. I think a lot of that's to do with the 50th stuff. They're very, 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 very concerned. They don't want these psycho Disney fans buying up everything and selling on eBay.
well, they were doing that because as soon as we got to the park we got there at 11, and there was about an hour and a half wait for Club Cool, no wait for Creation Shop, but we did wait a good hour to check out, and all the vloggers were there, and all the diehard black market Disney fans were there too, because they were coming out carrying bags upon bags, like Black Friday sale bags.
What honestly, I was not impressed by the 50th merchandise. Like I said, I saw my mom. They were just my mom's style of pajamas. They had the castle with the 50 on them. Like, oh, she'd like these. I mean, this is perfect for her. Honestly, most of the 50th merchandise I saw, the Crocs were kind of cool, but other than that, meh.
Yeah, and I've been trying to find like a Spirit jersey, but everything has those puff lettering on the back, and I don't like the puff. I just want it like the same, just like painted on the shirt, not puffed 3-dimensional. But yeah, the 50th anniversary stuff, I'm like, eh.
It's not what I was expecting. I kind of get it's all elegant and gold and everything. It's just not what I thought they would be. I thought they'd be having a hell of a lot more unique stuff. But it's also not the 50th. There's a chance they roll stuff out just on then.
And the statues are cool. That is another thing.
Cool. There's no doubt about that.
But it's not just like, it's like finding hidden Mickeys. Like, yeah, there's some golden statues in like the hubs of like Magic Kingdom. There's like 4 or 5 statues in World Showcase. But then there's some that are hidden. Like, for example, when you're going into Adventureland with the Adventureland logo from the hub and spoke, look up to the right and you'll see a Boo hiding in like a perch, like not in plain sight. Like you have to look up in a tree and he's hiding in there. Tinkerbell is on a bush, and the way how like you can tell it, she has this like they have these flowers on a tree that look like pixie dust. Stitch is in a wall in Tomorrowland. Trying to think who else is hidden. Oh, the orange bird is right outside of Skipper Canteen. But yeah, they're like hidden all around the park, and I think that's cool. It's like a new scavenger hunt.
I like that. I do like that. I dig it. Yeah, because I only did Disney Springs, which I do hate the new. I'm blanking on the name of the main store there. I do hate that now. I don't like the open floor pan. World of Disney. I do not like it. They've ruined that store.
And the thing with World of Disney was like they had clothing in one section, they had toys in one section, they had home decor in one section, and now it's like just shirts and stuffed animals with a couple of kitchen stuff, and that's it.
It used to be if you couldn't find it in the parks, you'll find it here before you leave. And it was not what I was expecting it to be, not to harp on that. But I agree. The pictures I've seen of the statues, I like what they've done. I like that they're hiding them, mainly because, well, if you're having a year to celebrate this shit, you might as well have stuff you can leave up for more than a year.
Yeah. And I hope the statues stay, but just get rid of the 50th plaque or something like that, because these statues are where they have them placed is really neat. There was something else.
Why not just leave them with the 50th plaque so people know these are put up for the 50th? Who cares? People coming to Disney aren't going to care.
And on that note, with gifts in general, the parks are really cheaping out on merchandise in the parks. Like outside of, here's an example. You get off Pirates of the Caribbean, there's like Jungle Cruise, and then there's a small section of Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's it. There's like no gift shop anymore. It's like there's nothing in the parks.
It could be because I've heard, obviously, there's shipping issues of getting things in.
Yeah.
Like the aforementioned mug I purchased for Horror Nights that I couldn't find because the entire shipment was wrong.
Oof.
Now that you got it, you can't do anything with it. You can't get more. So, but that's how I think is understanding with Disney, like the dinosaur merchandise we saw disappear. I think you're seeing a lot of products in general stuck out at sea and ships that can't get in. I think that's what's happening. I think you have a lot of Disney merchandise that they thought under normal, we'll have it here in plenty of time. That was like, because listen, the problem is when you're doing a year celebration, who cares? But I do think you'll see a big rollout on Saturday. Is it Saturday?
Oh,
Friday?
Saturday. Friday.
Thank you. The day that is the first that I can't remember right now.
Friday.
I
have a calendar. And on that incredible bombshell, I've been Dozer. That's been Bruce.
And I've been Brian.
Say your name.
Brian.
There we go. That's a Horror Night shirt.
Icons, baby.
Until next time, we're the Idiots. We're the idiots. So you don't have to be.